Well, this is a bit of a rant actually because pretty much the whole world's been watching this whole fiasco at Gatwick Airport. But the reality is that nobody, and this includes Gatwick authorities, the police, have not been able to actually provide us with any evidence, as far as I can tell, any evidence that there was actually a drone flying in Gatwick. I'll tell you what they have done. They've turned somebody's life, this couple, Paul and his wife, life upside down in this period of Christmas and family and happiness, and it's been absolutely terrible. My heartfelt feelings go out to the family. I hope, dude, you can get over this. Also, I hope you get compensation. I think what Gatwick should be doing, the £50,000 that they're sending out as a reward to catch this drone guy, give it to the family, because you caused a lot of damage. The police should be embarrassed. The police should really think twice that they released the address and names of someone who's not being charged with anything, and the media is completely irresponsible at reporting this situation. Let's be honest. Let's look at some of the reports. We've had reports saying that the drone was flying for hours. Okay? Anyone in the hobby will know that that is just not possible. It's that simple. Let me give you an example. They said it was 4 foot. Some people said it was a 4 foot. Some people, I think a delivery guy said that he saw some guy packing a 4 foot drone on his back, and then a 2 foot drone under his arm on a push bike cycling with a high vis jacket. I mean, could you make yourself more obvious? I mean, let me tell you, you're not just dealing with the drone, you're dealing with the goggles, you're dealing with the transmitter, the backpack. It's not an easy thing to do. That is utter nonsense. So they said that it was a commercial or agricultural, I can't remember exactly. Commercial, I'm going to presume they're referring to a DJI Phantom or DJI Inspire, both of which have a maximum flight time of about half hour at most. Just generalized, both of them, but half hour. That is, look, half hour. Okay, yes, these have a long range, and they could have flown from very far away, which is, to be fair with you, let's be honest, if you were someone who's going to do that and you have one of those commercial planes, commercial drones, would you really be anywhere nearby? You just go as far as you can so that it doesn't become quite obvious. Whatever their motive may be, which, by the way, as a hobby person myself, I mean, as you can clearly see, I fly drones. These are not commercial, these are just racing drones, as you can see for reference here. They are completely different. They're not the same thing. A DJI Phantom and this, yeah, they both have 4 props and they both hover, but they're not the same thing, okay? So, the other alternative is they're saying that a helicopter was up in the air and apparently a helicopter chased it. Apparently the helicopter chased the drone. I mean, crikey guys, all the helicopter had to do is go above it. The thrust of the helicopter alone would bring the drone down. That simple. Another thing, you've seen videos of people throwing things at drones and bringing them down. Okay, you could have done something like that. Apparently, and this is what really has annoyed me quite a bit, I don't recall ever the government calling upon the army for riots that we've seen on the streets. Riots or protests that got out of hand, or footballing events that are pretty sensitive, etc., etc. But yet the army was involved to come to Gatwick. Apparently sharpshooters were deployed, but they couldn't shoot it because they were worried about ricocheting bullets. Okay, fair enough. But these guys would have taken him, these guys are absolutely skilled. They could take something out a couple of 100 meters, surely. Okay? Again, that is nonsense. Do not believe stuff like that. But if it wasn't I mean, think of it. If this was something that the helicopter was chasing, and most helicopters can do 100 mile an hour more. If there was a DJI Phantom, it tops out at like 45 miles an hour on sports mode. So how on earth did the helicopter not see it? And if it did chase it and he crashed into a bush, just wait, send somebody to the drone. If it was a 4-foot racing drone, there's two massive problems with that. Two, there's only a couple of people in the UK who have them. One of them is one of my friends, Tony. Tony's been on the news, as you can see him with his goggles on top of his van. Yes, Tony, say hi, mate. And they're kind of limited to the same things that these are. This is a pack for something like this. Right, now on the hobby, you guys know this is 850 mAh battery. It gives you about 3.5 minutes. You can't go very far. Now on a X-Class 4-foot drone, you could probably go a little longer, but no more than 10 minutes. And they're not exactly quiet. So people would notice this like really, really quickly. So what I'm getting at with all of this ranting, other than just really being disappointed that the hobby again has become an scapegoat for Gatwick's inability to have a system in place to protect against things like this. We've had reports of all sorts of things. We've had reports that it could have been a bag. We could have had reports of it wasn't a drone at all. Between the police and the authorities in Gatwick, they can't agree what it is. There was 150,000 people that got affected by this disruption by drones. I don't think they're all in Gatwick itself, but linking flights and what have you. But half that number, or a quarter, that 25,000 people in Heathrow, in Gatwick, who got affected, half that number were people who got smartphones. Half that number again, you're talking about over 2,000 people who actually would have had a smartphone, who possibly would have seen it, and not one person that's taking a picture or video. I tell you what, the person in the command tower that supposedly reported this, why hasn't his name got put out, or her name put out, so that her life and his life can be turned upside down like Paul's and his family's? Because where's the drone? There ain't no drone. Now, guys, I'm going off on a tantrum. I don't normally post things like this, but I just wanted to share with you guys my feelings on this, because I feel it's really important that also all of the official bodies in the UK for flying drones, planes, what have you, should officially and publicly make massive statements, like big statement, right? Saying that nobody condones the possibility of doing this on any airport or any risk taking without any proper documentation, etc., etc. Nobody condones that. Okay, we're not in the hobby to endanger anyone, to hurt nobody. Most of us, and I say most of us because there is some people out there who do questionable stuff, no doubt about it. Okay, yeah, we all should be law-abiding citizens and insure our vehicles and so on and so forth, but that don't mean you ain't going to speed, even if you do insure it. So we're humans, we're not fucking perfect. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't have thought. But what I'm getting at is, guys, seriously, do not stand idle. Share with your friends that we're not part of the same people who possibly have done this, which I don't think they did. And they should come along and have a look at what we do. Now, if you agree with what I'm saying, do share my video, guys. Get involved below. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Did I cock up on some of the stuff I said? Or do you think there is a massive conspiracy theory? I think we should hook up the guys, the UFO spotters who believe they can explain what's happening in Gatwick. That would be a great one. So, hook me up below. Speak to you guys soon.